Back to work full-time today.
That's right. And while I'm at work, I want to make sure that you guys are getting the support you need at home. So you've inherited my judgmental stare. Love you guys. Love you.
There I was, in my heels with my hair straight.
I need that BlackTree TV. I need that BlackTree TV. I need that BlackTree TV. BlackTree TV.
Hello again.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little about your beginning. You're such a young actress. Tell me about, kind of how you got into it, how you knew you wanted to, and the first time you sort of performed in front of an audience.
Okay. Well, I was always putting on performances with my friends when I was younger. Me and my best friend from Texas, we cut out a piece of cardboard into like the shape of a TV, and we like wrote down a script and like learned it and like performed it in front of our parents. Like we like got inside the box and we're like pretending like we were on TV. And so I was always kind of doing stuff like that. We'd put on talent shows at a park across the street from my old house and those kinds of things. And so, my mom was always kind of looking for different programs that I could get into, and she finally found one that stuck, Nikki Peterson Talent. I did that for about 9 months. She brought in different casting directors and producers and acting coaches to work with a group of like 30 or 40 of us, I believe it was. And then at the end of it, we flew out to LA and put on a big showcase. And so that big showcase was the first time that I was kind of acting in front of these managers and agents. And that is where I found my manager, who I'm still with to this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So things really fell into place.
Yeah, they really did. And my parents had a lot of trust in little 8-year-old me saying I wanted to move out to LA to be a star,
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, starting out so young as a child, and now as, moving into being a young adult, how do you approach a role differently, or even kind of meeting with other people or for potential roles? How do you approach things differently now?
Well, here's the thing is since I was, 8, 9 years old, I was always very strict about what I wanted to do. I always told my manager, always told my agent, I was like, I don't want Nickelodeon, I don't want Disney. I have a very kind of clear path of where I see myself going and the work I see myself doing. So I was always very, very particular about that. I wanted the more like intense drama kind of roles. But now, as I've gotten older, there's more opportunities for that. Being so young, there wasn't a lot of that out there. And so I was lucky to do the few things that I was able to do when I was younger that fell into that category. But now being older, and I'm 18 now, there's so many opportunities. It's wild. The switch of material that you get as soon as you turn 18 is really crazy. But no, it's amazing because it's what I've always wanted to do, and it's where I've always kind of the movies and the shows I've always seen myself in. So now it's nice that since I am of age that it is working out for me.
Baked ziti?
Yeah, sure. And after that, could you drive me to the Oberlin Design Center?
Oberlin Design Center? Why? What's that going to cost me?
Think of it as an investment. I heard about this night class for high school kids who want to get into design. I thought I'd check it out. There's an application fee, but it's not much.
Hey, cool it on the balloons for a second, please. Okay, tell me more.
I just realized I should start thinking about what I want to do with my life.
Okay, I mean, I love it. I'm not used to you voluntarily signing up for a class.
I know, but some of my friends are leaving for college, and I mean, I like art, I like drawing, and thought I'd sign up for a design course.
Yeah.
Mom, if you can't drive me, just say so.
No, I can. I can drive you. Wow, senior year is really creeping up on me faster than I thought it was going to, and you're doing homework without me telling you to, and looking into colleges and signing up for a class.
Mom, if you're gonna turn it into a whole thing, I'm not going.
I'm not gonna make it a whole thing and you're gonna go, because it's an awesome idea. I just might start crying.
Oh, Mom, don't do that. Here, I'll help you make dinner.
Help me make dinner. What is happening? Go boil some water.
So what sort of roles do you see yourself taking on as, you move into womanhood and a more experienced actor? What sort of roles would you like ideally like see yourself playing?
Yeah, well, one of my biggest inspirations and one of my favorite actresses is Zendaya. And I always loved how she switched from Disney and then to
Mm,
Euphoria. I love the show Euphoria. I think it's amazing. Zendaya plays that role so fantastically.
agree, agree.
Yeah, she's incredible. So doing something like that, it's very dark and it's very intense, but it's very real. I love that kind of stuff. So in the world of that, for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what it's like working with Mekhi Phifer. Like, I don't know if you're old enough to realize like he's sort of iconic and especially
Yes,
in
he
like my
is.
era Gen X, especially like the Hood movies or those classics. So what's that like working with an icon?
I was freaking out the first day that I knew he was going to be on set. One of my favorite movies is 8 Mile, which he's in, of course. And so when I found out that he was going to be on our set and that he was going to have like a recurring role throughout the season, I was like, oh my God, I need to take a deep breath. I need to relax. Like it's going to be okay. But he's incredible. I mean, getting to do one-on-one scenes with him is so, so amazing. And it's a masterclass like happening in front of my eyes, really. And I remember one of the first scenes that I had to do with him, I was like really, really nervous and like kind of scared. I was like, oh my God, like I'm acting opposite Mekhi Phifer. Like this is going to be a really big thing. But as the season progressed and I got to just talk with him more offset, I was like, he's just another person, like this, I can relax. This is going to be good. But it's amazing. And it's incredible to have such amazing actors around me that I get to learn from.
That's awesome. Well, clearly you have more than high potential as an actress. What are your other things do you think that you have high potential at? Like if you weren't acting, what do you think you would ideally be doing?
Well, throughout high school, I was a cheerleader. I was a flyer, and I did gymnastics when I was younger for about 3 or 4 years, I believe. Competitive gymnastics, and I was in dance, and so probably the world of that
So
cheerleading
always performing though.
world. I was always performing. I was, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Um,
so you're right in your zone.
Yeah, but I always kind of said that if I wasn't an actress, I would want to be like cheering in college or something along those lines. So probably that.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up Black History Month,
Mhm.
are there any sort of figures in Black history that particularly inspire you or that you've studied or become interested in or that you would just like to see, talked about a little more or highlighted a little more?
As far as actors or just in general?
Just in general.
Well, I mean, as far as the industry, the first thing that came to my mind was like Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler. They are so incredible, the movies that they make together. First of all, Black Panther, fabulous movie. Fabulous movies that they did.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
also Sinners. The way that they told that story was just, it was so intense, but it was just a masterpiece. It was really so cinematic the way that they made it all come together. And so I really hope that Ryan Coogler especially keeps making movies like that tell such important stories, but in a very artistic way, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
It
Um,
does make sense. And
yeah,
I think it's kind of awesome that, as I mentioned, Black history, that you took time to highlight Black people right now that are creating that will
yeah,
be history. That'll
yeah.
certainly be in the history books. That certainly give people something to strive for.
Yeah, because that movie was fantastic, and Miles Canton, the young actor who's in it as well, his work that he did in the movie was amazing. And so I
Mm.
can't wait to see where his career goes and all the things he does, and hopefully Sinners makes history with their Oscar wins. That's what I'm rooting for.
Agree, agree.
So,
Is there anyone that you would love to act with or do a movie or a show with that you've kind of got this, this ideal pairing?
For sure. One of my favorite actresses is Natalie Portman. I
Mm.
saw her in The Professional, I think, when I was around the age of 10. And she wasn't too older than me when she had done that movie. I believe she was like 12 or 13. And I remember seeing that movie and being like, that's what I want to do. That's it right there. I want to do this. So to act alongside her in a movie or a show would be, I'd honestly think I'd pass out if I'm being honest. But that would be amazing.
And any other aspects of filmmaking or TV show making that interests you? The kind of the behind the scenes, any of that in particular that surprised you, or kind of the how it's done, or
I mean, I think it's just I feel like people don't realize how much goes into making a show or making a movie. It's like the lighting crew and the sound and the camera crew and, the producers and the writers and the directors, crafty, catering, everything, hair, makeup.
everything. Yeah.
It literally there's so much that goes into it. But I've really been interested in like directors recently and because the way their mind works and how they see everything and how they
Mhm.
can kind of tell how they want a scene to play out before watching it, I think is really cool. And just talking with some of my favorite directors on set this past season of High Potential was really cool to just kind of get insight on how they've gotten to where they are.
Interesting. So, do you think that makes you better at your craft once you kind of understand more about the behind the scenes, in particular where the director's mind is?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's really important to understand all aspects of
Mm.
it. It's not just about what goes on in front of the camera. It's really what's happening behind the camera and then like post-production, everything that makes a show what it is.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great job on the show.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed every moment of it.
Thank you so much. It was great talking with you.
Thanks, you too. Bye.